At around about 1:30 yesterday, West Midlands Fire Service was alerted to a significant grass fire at Stourbridge Golf Course. At the height of this multi-agency response, more than 100 firefighters, 30 fire appliances and 11 specialist teams were in attendance, supported by our neighbouring fire and rescue services and national resources. The fire spread rapidly and has affected 38 domestic properties. Of these, sadly, 19 have been fully destroyed and a further 18 have sustained damage. The incident covered an area of approximately 500 acres. Cordons and road closures will remain in place around the affected area. There has also been disruption to the rail services between Kidderminster and Stourbridge. West Midlands Fire Service is supporting Network Rail to access the line and begin repairs. 6 casualties were reported on scene, including 3 firefighters. One of the firefighters attended hospital and has since been discharged, and I'm delighted to say I spoke to her this morning and she is fine and well. All of the other recorded injuries were minor in nature and included smoke inhalation. A significant number of residents have been displaced and are being supported by local authorities at rest centres in the local area. The cause of the fire is not yet known. Specialist fire investigators are working hard to establish the circumstances of the incident. While progress has been made here today, demand remains exceptionally high across West Midlands Fire Service due to resourcing this incident and several others. Please help us to prevent more fires today, and particularly as temperatures may climb again throughout the day today. Do nothing that can start an outdoor fire. That means no deliberate fires, no fireworks, no disposable barbecues, and if you are a smoker, dispose of cigarette ends and other smoking materials carefully and responsibly, and do not burn any waste at home or outside. We acknowledge it's heartbreaking to watch the homes here have been damaged and in some instances destroyed, and the thoughts of everyone with West Midlands Fire Service are with the homeowners. However, please stay away from our incident ground. No one should be inside the risk area under any circumstances. Please follow police advice and acknowledge their cordons. Staying away will help us as we continue to work hard at the scene. I'd like to acknowledge the support we've had from both neighbouring fire and rescue services, Hereford and Worcester, and Staffordshire overnight, and fellow Blue Light partners, West Midlands Ambulance Service and West Midlands Police. This was a true multi-agency response, and I am deeply grateful to them, as well as other agencies, Network Rail, Cadent, electricity colleagues, and partners from the local authority. I'd like to thank all of them for their hard work. And then finally from me, a huge thank you to all of the fire crews that have worked so hard yesterday, over the night and today. Grass fires and wildfires of this nature are exceptionally difficult. The working terrain is uneven, the heat is extreme, access is difficult, and the fire moves really quickly. And we also have the challenge of getting the right amount of water to the incident. I am so proud of every one of the firefighters from West Midlands Fire Service and our neighbouring services who have worked so hard here over the last 24 hours. I'm deeply grateful to all of them. Thank you very much. I'm happy to take some questions.
So, George from LBC, if I could just ask, we know there were a number of hot spots as this broke into smaller fires yesterday. What is the stage with that now? Are they still being dampened down? And what is the risk of those reigniting in the days that come?
Yes, it is true. So while I am reporting that the fire is under control, you are right, there are a number of hot spots throughout the scene. That's why we've still got a large volume of crew here. I think currently we have 14 fire engines here, and we will be maintaining a presence here over the coming days, making sure we dampen down those hot spots.
Jack Carson from GB News, we spoke to one resident who said that he seemed to him that there was an issue with supply of water. You touched on it there as well. What is the case? When you came here yesterday, did you get to the point where you needed more water?
Any fire the size of this, logistically getting the water out of the hydrants and into the fire can be exceptionally challenging because of the size and the distance away from the hydrants. So the crews worked really hard yesterday. They plugged into hydrants. We used specialist assets, a high volume pump to transport water from a further distance away, which enabled us to get the right amount of water to the incident as quickly as we possibly could.
Chief Fire Officer, Sky News, you've given us the figures for 38 domestic properties affected in Stourbridge. Obviously there's a number of fires across the West Midlands. Can you give a bit of an overview in terms of the whole of the West Midlands and how many domestic properties have been affected across the West Midlands?
So at its height yesterday, alongside this incident here, we were attending 10 other significant fires in the West Midlands, some of which spread to domestic properties. I don't have the exact numbers, but yesterday was an unprecedented day for West Midlands Fire Service. My colleagues in the Fire Control 999 Centre took over 1,100 calls yesterday, and we mobilised to hundreds and hundreds of incidents. This is completely unprecedented, which is why I'm asking for the public's cooperation in terms of being really, really careful when they're out and about and outside, particularly in grass areas, so that we can prevent this type of fire as best we possibly can.
Black Country Radio, we've seen reports locally that the police are treating this as like a crime scene. Can you clarify that?
So because the cause is unknown, we will be working really closely with police colleagues. I have our specialist fire investigation team here now investigating the cause of origin. Much more than that I don't know, but we will investigate and try and understand exactly what happens, and we will always, as a matter of course, work really closely with police colleagues.
What's the time period you're giving to residents before they can return to their homes?
So we're still trying to understand how we will start to return residents. We're working really closely with Dudley Council as the local authority. We'll start to engage with people as best we can. There are some areas where, as I've mentioned, colleagues are still working to damp down hotspots. So there will probably be a phased return to people to different parts of the incident as we move through the next few days. Yes, I can. A few farmers from the area were absolutely fantastic in helping us. In fact, I've just been out on the incident ground speaking to one of my colleagues before I came to this briefing. And some of my colleagues who were here yesterday used the farmers to plough the field at the interface between the field and the homes, which then prevented the fire spreading across into homes. So I'm really grateful to them for their help yesterday when we were in really challenging conditions.
If I could just ask, in future fires like this, I know you said last night this was one of the worst you've seen in your career. We know now there are going to be some aerial firefighting deployments. Is that something that you think would have made a substantial difference much faster last night, and would that have stopped some of the devastation we've seen?
I think a view around aerial capacity and assets are used in the fire service is a discussion that I would welcome, both with West Midlands Fire Service but also nationally through the National Fire Chiefs Council, to see whether that's an asset that would help us in these conditions. We know now that we are experiencing dry conditions like this more frequently, so it's a discussion I'd really welcome.
Interesting start. What do you think of the community response? What's going on? Because obviously you've had lots of donations from the community of food and water and help along the way.
Thanks for the question. The community here have been absolutely fantastic. I was here yesterday really early on. We've had donations of food, we've had water, we've had snacks. The community spirit has been amazing. The support the community showed the firefighters and every first responder that was here has been exceptional, and it has felt like a single response, and I'm deeply grateful to everyone. Good. Thank you very much, colleagues. If you want any follow-up questions, speak to my colleague Ferg, and he'll be able to facilitate that. Thank you.